Welcome to Full Count Rhythm Baseball on the Full Count Broadcast Network. Presented by Full Count Ministries and Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Now let's head into the ballpark for tonight's game.
Welcome to Brooks Stadium in Paducah, Kentucky for Game 1 of the 2026 Ohio Valley League season. This is Tim Reese on the Full Count Sports Network. Hopefully we're getting out on YouTube and Facebook tonight. Had the issues the other night for our scrimmage that didn't work well for Facebook. So if you lose us or we lose you on Facebook, go to YouTube, Full Count Rhythm on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch the game. As far as I know, we shouldn't be getting kicked off of YouTube. They do play a lot of music here inside Doc Heidig Field, inside the Brooks Stadium. So we'll try to do our best to keep the music out of our broadcast. We definitely can't play the national anthem. So sorry about that for those of you like me, patriotic, and want to hear that before every contest. And there's a possibility of rain here tonight. So there may be some delays, but it looks like we're going to get started on time, 6:30 p.m. Jay Myers is ready in White House, Tennessee. He says, let's go. Rhythm, and we are back on the Vol. There it is. It's not the Vol State Network, Full Count Sports Network. You'll just have to roll with me on that one, folks. Jonathan Huffam checking in early as well. Let's get you the Chick-fil-A of Rivergate starting lineups. Let me get that. We'll have to figure out a way to get that Todd Hundley Chick-fil-A spot going at the right time. We'll get the visitors. That's the champions, the Full Count Rhythm, trying to repeat for the second time in the OVL championship. 3 championships under their belt, and I'll tell you why it's not 4 in a row later on in the broadcast. Leading off, playing center field, Rylan Moses. Playing first base and batting second is Kaysen Youngblood. Nathan Rowland will get our first look at the catcher from Mercer. He's going to bat third. Hudson Separulo, the DH, hitting in the cleanup spot. Charlie Bozeman, one of 3 returning Rhythm players, playing second base. He'll bat fifth. Jay Fuller out in left field hits sixth. Cam Suggs at third base, batting seventh. Joel Chandler is at shortstop. Joel Chandler the second. He's going to hit eighth in the lineup. Kaysen Hill, the two-way player, will play right field and bat ninth. And on the mound for the first game of the 26 season is Joey Greenstreet. He'll be a right-hander on the mound for Josh Carman's Full Count Rhythm. Josh Carman's 5th year as the head coach, 6th year as the general manager. He is assisted by Jonas Smithson, Nick Krupp tonight. Ryan Sweeney also in the coaching role tonight. He'll get the start, I believe, tomorrow night on our first home game. For the Paducah Chiefs, Jevin Andrews will lead off. He's the center fielder. Brett Haas back for at least year number 2 for the Chiefs. He's going to play third and bat second. Trey Dooley hits third, plays left field. Jack Robinson playing right field, hitting cleanup for the Chiefs. Austin Spears batting fifth, playing shortstop. Carson Reed behind the plate, bats sixth. Jace England down at first base. Batting seventh, Austin Wilson, the DH, hits eighth. Maddox Cope will bat ninth and play second base. Kaysen Mitchell is on the mound. He's a right-hander for the Chiefs from Brescia College, Carlisle County High School. I assume that's here in Kentucky. I don't know that high school. They are coached by Scott Tucker in his first year. I believe he was an assistant coach last year. Scott Matlock is the assistant coach. Kent Wallace, the pitching coach here for the Paducah Chiefs. Paducah finished the season a year ago 22-17 and lost to the Fulton Railroaders in the semifinals in a monumental game that was played right here at Brooks Stadium. I believe it went 14 or 15 innings, and the Railroaders ended up winning that game, and they won the right to play Full Count in the finals, and Full Count ruled the Railroaders twice to win their third championship. As you see, the host team, the Chiefs, have taken the field, and there will be a national anthem that is going to be sung here at the field. We want to show you, we have a couple of camera angles for the away games, and I have added a bullpen camera, so it's not to show those ladies, but we'll have to take a break as the national anthem is sung. We'll be right back on the Full Count Sports Network.
Corson Fire and Security first opened for business in 1946. From the very beginning, we understood something important. We're not just protecting buildings. We're protecting the dreams that built them. We're protecting the lives unfolding inside them. Fire extinguishers, sprinkler systems, and security products are the tools of our trade, but people are the inspiration behind it. For 7 decades, we've never forgotten that. Corson Fire and Security. Corson.com.
We all think about our home's yards, gutters, floors, and so much more. When was the last time you thought about your sprinkler system? That's where Music City Fire Sprinkler steps in. It may shock you that in-home sprinkler systems are discreet and affordable. Let the experts at Music City Fire Sprinkler tell you for themselves. Give them a call at 615-826-7450 or check them out on the web at mcfs.us. That's Music City Fire Sprinkler, proud sponsor of the Full Count Rhythm.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
And back at home tomorrow, Chris Freeman will say, play ball. So we got a first pitch to be thrown as well. If you want to hop on the YouTube chat or Facebook post, you can do just that, just like Harold Doxtater. Doxtater. That's what I'm going to go with. Harold Doxtater says, let's go. On Facebook, Jonathan Huffham's checked in, and Jay Myers on YouTube. That's the youngster out there to throw out the first pitch. She's milking it, get it in there. Jaws got it to the dirt. Atta girl. Got a few Rhythm fans that are here. Brian Brown, the father of Barrett Brown, incoming freshman, heading to Bellarmine, is here. So we sing the national anthem here before the coaches meeting for some reason. That doesn't happen at Drakes Creek Park. We have the coaches meeting, and then we do the lineup and the national anthem, I believe. But maybe Chris Freeman's going to change things. I don't know. We got a new public address announcer, so the rhythm section is changing. Not sure if Chris is listening in tonight, but it's good to have him, a professional, true professional public address announcer. He's done the Nashville Sounds. He's done Vanderbilt basketball, men's and women's. He's done lots of other PA announcing. He's also done broadcasting. Not sure if he's still doing the Liberty Creek high school football broadcasting or not. His son also is a broadcaster. May have recently finished at Middle Tennessee State University. So it'll be good to get Chris in the ballpark. Ken Stegall, our official scorer, of course, will be back. Ava Dorn will be handling at least one job. I don't think she can handle two at one time. She's the middle child of Doug and Rebecca Dorn, and Ava last year handled the scoreboard for us up in the press box. Enjoyed it. Asked if she could come back, and we said absolutely. As long as you're paying attention to the ball game, put balls and strikes, and make sure the runs in the home team category are more than the ones in the visitors category, then we'll take you. But she might also be assisting me with handling the computer and camera switching when my wife can't make it. My lovely bride, Susan, has signed up to assist with the broadcast again this year. And who knows who else we might get up there. We might get a little bit of Eli Wilson Reese up there with the headset on, my 6.5-year-old grandson, and hopefully my 8.5-year-old grandson, Reese Snapka from Mississippi, will be up for kids camp coming up in a couple weeks, and maybe get him on one of the broadcasts. We only have one home game during kids camp. It's going to be on that Wednesday. So hopefully you've gotten a hold of a schedule and plan to visit Drakes Creek Park for many of the home games. We'll have 20 this year. Schedules in June and July. So you can go to fullcountrhythm.com and find out all about the Rhythm schedule, the roster, the sponsors. We've got great sponsors. Our title sponsor back again for year 3, I believe it is, Todd Hunley and Linda Hunley over at Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Appreciate them. AAA Auto Glass, Shower Glass, Dylan Doris, big-time sponsor for Full Count Rhythm. We couldn't do this at all and have the ministry that we have without these folks. Several are dual donors and sponsors of Full Count Rhythm Baseball and Full Count Ministries, which is the umbrella organization over the Rhythm Ball Club. Brewster's Ice Cream new this year. You'll see, hopefully I did it right, and we'll have Brewster's Ice Cream commercials for today's broadcast. Hendersonville Firefighters Association will have our call to the bullpen. AAA Auto Glass, our foul ball sponsor. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate, our title sponsor, starting lineup sponsor, and they will sponsor a jersey as Rylan Moses will step to the plate. Rylan just finished his freshman year at Trevecca, played at Good Pasture High School, and lives in Portland. Rylan had an excellent year for Trevecca Trojans this year and nearly gets plunked with the very first pitch as we are underway at 6:34 Central Time. Game time temperature 77 degrees, brought to you by, as that ball's grounded right up the middle, and there's your answer for the trivia question. Who got the first hit of the 2026 season? For Full Count, it's Rylan Moses on the second pitch he sees. Game time temperature 77 degrees, brought to you by Safeware. Thanks to Mike Harrell, folks over there, for supporting Full Count Rhythm Baseball. Now Kason Youngblood will step to the plate. I don't have Ava here to operate my scoreboard. There's a called strike to Youngblood. Kason wears the number 44, 6'5", 250 pounds. Moses can run, and Youngblood just put a charge into that one. That's going to get down to the left center field. Hits off the base of the wall. Cruising into third base, Moses, and in for the first that double of the year, Kason Youngblood. Runners now at second and third, nobody out. Back-to-back hits for the Rhythm. Brings up Nathan Rowland. Rowland, 6'1", 215-pound rising sophomore at Mercer. He's from Ackworth, Georgia. Just met him on the bus as we left Framework Athletics, heading on the Anchor Transportation bus up here to Paducah. Runners at second and third. Kason Mitchell on the mound, as that pitch is sliced foul right next to Hudson Separulo on deck. Not a lot of home runs hit here. Mike Harrell's been up here. I want to say that Paducah Chiefs may have only hit 5 home runs, maybe I'm not sure if that was the whole year or just in this ballpark, but I know there's not a lot. Roland cannot hold up on that inside fastball, and he's down in the count 0-2. On deck, Separulo, the DH. There's at second and third, nobody out. Roland does not offer at that high fastball. Business management major, minoring in marketing. Lloyd, and I think that's Laurie. I'm going to go with Lari as Laurie. His parents, sister Ashlyn, getting this off the Mercer website. Slider is swung on and missed, and there's the first out of the top of the first. Roland played in 46 games for Mercer this year, the Mercer Bears. Hit 281, hit a double and a home run. Hudson Separulo stepping in. His first action since probably February with Motlow State. Hudson's from Paris, Tennessee, went to Henry County High School. And he swings at the first pitch, fouls it back. Union University for a couple of years, played his redshirt freshman year. Got in 8 games for Motlow State before he got injured, had a double and a couple of home runs. Was hitting 400 when he went down for the rest of the season. Like a changeup stayed inside to the left-hand hitting Separulo. Common spelling. Of course, he's 6'5", 240 pounds. Son of Tommy Separulo, married Kate Separulo, brother to Michaela, Ella, and Emerson. Got a pawpaw in Jackson, Tennessee, and a Mimi in Paris, Tennessee. His dad's down in Gainesville, Florida right now. He swings over a changeup or off-speed pitch. Dad is a big-time D1 umpire. He'll be umpiring in the Gainesville Regional. Just talking to James Purnell, basically the supervisor of the 3-man crew that's here. James Purnell, not one of the 4 umpires or one of the 3 umpires. That pitch is fouled back, but pretty crowded in that little umpire shed down underneath the stands. But he and our home plate umpire, Robert Boone, or Brad Polk, I think, who's out at first, now in the middle of the diamond, they knew right where Tommy Separulo is umping. That ball's popped up in the infield. It's playable. Pitcher Mitchell drops the ball in foul territory. That is going to be a foul ball. That's one of those you'd like to see your first baseman come in and call the pitcher off. Not that pitchers can't catch, but they're not used to it. So Mitchell drops the ball. They're going to count that as an error, which you can, even though the batter runner does not reach first base, you can count an error on that, and it's up on the scoreboard, I assume. That's the only possibility of an error, so I'm sure it's for that. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. That's fouled right back here. That's going to go right over the press box. Can't make a play there. Concrete stadium here with wooden benches and seats with backs on them down for the high paying folks. Ashley Blazer, one of our host home mamas, checking in on Facebook, says, let's go Rhythm. It's a hard shot to shortstop. And the play is going to be made to home as Moses hesitated. Austin Spears, the shortstop, waited to see if Moses was going to go. And as soon as he saw Ryland head to the plate, he threw home to retire Ryland for out number 2. So Separulo reaches on a fielder's choice. Moses out 6-2 if you're scoring at home. And if you are, I need to know about it. Charlie Bozeman, the second baseman, stands in, looks at a breaking pitch that stays high. Charlie from Samford University, 5'10", 190-pound rising junior. Plays high school baseball at a place probably nobody's heard about in Tennessee, a little place called Farragut. It's just west of Knoxville. 5 straight state champions. Tapper foul at the plate. Michael and Emily Bozeman, his parents, brother Andrew, staying in the host home of John and Amy Smithson, along with half the team, seems like. Papaw and Grandmommy in Knoxville, Pop and Dee Dee in Memphis. One of 3 returning players, he and Ryan Sweeney. And I do this every time, breaking pitches up. I get a brain cramp to try to remember 3 people. He pauses to see if his mind will work again. That one's on the outside corner for a called strike. Who's the 3rd player? If this didn't happen so often, I'd be embarrassed, but there we go. Lifted out to center field. This should be a can of corn for Jevin Andrews, and he makes the catch to end the threat. Full count, gets the first 2 on in scoring position. Cannot push around 1 runner. No runs, 2 hits in the inning. Apparently, well, they took the error off the board. No errors and 2 runners left on base. We are through 1/2 an inning. And let me get that. Why is that scoreboard not up there? I'll work on it. Take a break and be right back.
Full Count Rhythm Baseball with my grandpa, Tim Reese, on the Full Count Sports Network.
And there it is, the special guest, Eli Wilson Reese, our special guest doing the bumper between innings. It's probably no big deal to a guy named Zach Williams to get that up and running, but for an old man like me to be able to get that on, hey, look at there. And look at there, I got the scoreboard up. Now I got to get the logos up there too. There they are. Game 1, folks. It's game 1. Move to the bottom of the first. It is Jay Myers. I saw that right at the end as Bozeman popped that one up. Talked to him on the bus heading up this way. And there's the email address popping up now. Where have you been? Brooke, I wasn't sure if you'd be okay with that. I just went ahead and made a decision to put that up there. We're going to have to do a little better job with, it's hard to hear little E on that one. So it was not a professionally made video. It did the trick. As Joey Greenstreet toes the rubber for the bottom of the first. Greenstreet facing the center fielder, Jevin Andrews, and the first pitch is ball 1, in and out of the glove of Roland. Give you a little information on Mr. Greenstreet from Trevecca, swing and a miss by Andrews. Is apparently he didn't miss. He fouled that one back off Robert Boone, who's taking it with his head down right now. Takes his mask off. hat off, scratches his head, looks at the batter and says, "Hey, don't do that anymore." Every pitch is going to be called a strike. Greenstreet, 6'2", 210-pound rising redshirt freshman from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Played at Green Hill High School. Sport management major at Trevecca. Son of John and Susan Greenstreet. Brother to Bree and Lexi. Got grandparents in Fort Mill, South Carolina. He steps off the rubber. Grandpa and Grandma, he calls them. Staying occasionally in the host house of Eric and Casey Vierkant, the parents of Luke Vierkant. When he comes in to pitch, I'm going to call him Viercan, not Vierkant. Whoops. 2-1 pitch coming from Greenstreet. That catches the outside corner. A little slider, or not sure if he throws a splitter or not. His teammate at Trevecca, Ryan Sweeney, he calls something cross between a slider and a splitter. And I don't want to say it because I might say a bad word. Full Count Ministries, full count to the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the first. Jevan Andrews, Jevan. Plays his college baseball at Vincennes, and he swings. It's a slow roller to short. Charging, gloving, and throwing is Joel Chandler the second to get the first out here in the bottom of the first. That got all in the hands of Andrews. Nice play by Chandler from Montevallo, Brandon, Mississippi, his home. 5'11", 185-pound rising sophomore for the Falcons. Got a couple of Falcons, one from Montevallo, one from Bowling Green State University. Jana Swope, the neighbor to my grandson, Eli Reese, says, "Good job." Mario Gonzalez, he's not from around here. Mario down in Central America, one of the full count missionaries down there. They're busy. Not sure if Mario, I assume Mario's working with the group that's down there right now with Jonathan Smithson. I should have gotten a list of who all is down there. That's another one that gets off the home plate umpire, Robert Boone. Come on, Robert, charge those next time. We're going to need a little more production out of you behind the plate. Put on some more gear. Scoot a little closer to that catcher. Javon. I had bad information as that flipped out to shallow right field, and Brett Haas gets the first hit for the Paducah Chiefs. A one-out bloop single. Take it anyway. Well, thank you for sending that in, Javon. That's I did specifically go over and ask the folks in the press box to my left, and they said, "Yeah, Jevin, that's right." So you might want to let them know as well. Javon. Trey Dooley is at the plate with a runner on, one out. And Greenstreet has just plunked Mr. Dooley. So the Chiefs have two on. I'm sure Joey didn't mean to. Seems like a very kind young man. He sure has been when he and I have chatted. Walks by me with a smile, and he takes me to heart that I've told him, I said, "Look, I'm going to look at you, and I'm not going to have any idea what your name is, even though you've probably told me 4 times. Just walk by, look at me, and tell me your name. That's how I'll remember it." Jack Robinson at the plate takes called strike. From his Yaya listening. Are you listening? Let's see where he's from. Hobart, Indiana is where Javon Andrews is from, it says on the roster, but who knows? Maybe that's wrong. 0-1 pitch to Robinson, swing and a miss. On deck, Austin Spears. Robinson is the right fielder. Mount St. Joseph University. Being a Cincinnati boy, I think that is the one in Ohio, be my guess. Fastball up. He's from Mooresville, Indiana, 6'2", 180 pounds. Says he's a redshirt junior. I don't know if he just finished his redshirt junior year or it's what he's going into. I try to tell you what our players are going into. Just missed down. Corson Fire and Security is our strikeout sponsor. Why? Because I said so. I told Grant Edwards, one of the original members of the Full Count Ministry, it just sounds right. Ground ball slowly hit again to short. Chandler's going to go over to first base, and the throw, apparently Youngblood able to hold his foot on the base. Both runners move up. Hey, let's get that second runner on the base. Now we'll move him up. But there are 2 outs. Austin Spears will step to the plate. Spears from Northeast Mississippi Community College. Went to Lyon County High School. It's Lyon. He bats here with 2 out and 2 on. They're both in scoring position. The Chiefs trying to get on the board first. Takes a breaking pitch that whispers at the outside corner for a called strike. Kennedy Carmen listening in. Why, is she old enough to play a radio? Somebody's stolen her YouTube chat. Swing and a miss. The second daughter of the Josh and Brooke Carmen union. Kylie's the big sister. Yaya says Hobart from Park Forest. Breaking pitch brings up Austin Spears with a Corson strikeout to end the inning as Paducah Chiefs leave 2 on in scoring position. No runs. There was 1 hit, actually 2 hits. 1 got a hit and 1 got hit. No errors in the inning. 2 runners left on base. We are through 1, scheduled for 9. There's no score on the Full Count Sports Network.
Don't strike out at your next party. Order the food that will get your crowd cheering. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We have many catering options available, from our Chick-fil-A nugget trays to our original Chick-fil-A sandwiches to our chocolate chunk cookies and fudge brownies. We have something for everyone. Order online at chickfil-a.com or call the store at 615-851-4007.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
Still got to change those bumpers to Sports Network. Haven't taken the time. I need to get educated. I need my man Zach Williams to take a timeout from. He is our newest, or one of our newest, specialty sponsors. He's going to sponsor some insurance runs when the Rhythm are up after a halfway point through the game. Zach Williams and Country Financial will sponsor some insurance runs for the Full Count Rhythm this year. But Zach came and showed up at Drakes Creek Park the other day and helped me get all the computer stuff mostly up and working, at least where we can actually broadcast a game, even all the way down to Managua, Nicaragua, where Jonathan B. Smithson's listening in. So they must be on their way back tomorrow from Managua. John, is Todd Cox, the all-state football player from Kentucky, down there with you? I bet he is. With Jay Fuller, Cam Suggs, Joel Chandler the second due up here in the top of the second to face Kason Mitchell. Pitched out of a jam in the first. Allowed 2 hits, a single to Rylan Moses and a double to Kason Youngblood as Jay Fuller takes a JV cut at the first pitch he sees. Comes up empty. Fuller from the UAB. That's the University of Alabama, Birmingham. 6 foot, 195-pound rising redshirt freshman from Oak Grove, Alabama. Two balls and a strike. Folks, I'll get used to pushing these buttons, okay? I will get used to keeping that scoreboard. Fuller looks at a called strike. Jay's a finance and accounting major. Isaiah and Lakeisha Fuller, his parents. Hope I'm saying that first name right as he fouls that one off and out of play over the Chiefs bullpen where there is activity. Left-hander, number 77, getting loose. Jay, the brother to Zion and Shiloh, a couple of sisters. Poppy and Nana are in Bessemer, Alabama. Granddad and Grandma in Oak Grove, right down the road from Jay. Swing and a miss on a changeup. He could not slow that bat down as he goes down on strike. Second strikeout for Mitchell. And 1 out brings up Cam Suggs. Jay Fuller staying in the host home of Damon and Tanya Walls. First time host family. Appreciate them. Appreciate all of our host families. Well, couldn't do it without them. You can do it without a broadcast. You can't bring these guys here and not have a place for them to stay. Can't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Cam Suggs played at Auburn University at Montgomery this past year. All right. Isaiah says I said it right. John says Todd is not on that trip. Well, why isn't he here then? Inquiring minds want to know. Although he could be here and I just don't know it. 1-1 pitch to Suggs, and just to back the moneymaker out of the way, is apparently he's drizzling a bit. Here, see the umbrellas out here in Paducah. Cam is committed to change his schooling and playing to Volunteer State Community College. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. Got in 10 games for AUM this past spring. Picked up a double, had a home run, 4 RBIs. Cam and Jessica Suggs, his parents. Maggie and Molly, his sisters. He played at Davidson Academy with J.C. Myers. Nick Krupp was there. And there's one more. And I get my mouth talking before my brain's checked in. And there's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. As I missed a Full Count Ministries full count. Suggs is down looking. Cam has grandparents in Greenbrier and Clarksville. He calls granddaddy and mama in Greenbrier. And G actually is right here in Paducah. And a grandma in Clarksville. 2 out, nobody on. Joel Chandler stepping to the plate. He swings at a breaking pitch, comes up empty. Made a couple plays on defense in the bottom of the first. Trying to get a 2-out rally going. 5'11", 185-pound, rising sophomore from Orange Beach, Alabama. Business and marketing major there at Montevallo. His dad, Joel, the first, is in Fairhope, Alabama. His mom, Kayla Chandler, is in Brandon, Mississippi. Got a grandpa he calls Beck in Canton, Mississippi. Brandon and Grand in Brandon, Mississippi. staying in the host home of Fred Baldwin. And that pitch was close there. Called a ball, 3 balls and a strike. Fred Baldwin, a good friend of Brandon Jaggers, Full Count Ministry original member. There's ball 4, the first walk of the season, drawn by Joel Chandler. Fred Baldwin is taking in 2 rhythm players. He's also, besides Joel Chandler, is taking in Jackson Zeller, a catcher, played at Chattanooga State last year. Kaysen Hill, the number 9 hole hitter, stands in. Kaysen Hill, I don't have all the information I need on Kaysen. Limited in what I have. Jack Smith, there you go. Jay, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to pay attention all year long. And last year you stepped up as the research assistant, the research analyst. Throw over to first. Chandler back. And I'm expecting it from you again. Jax Smith, pitcher from Southwest Tennessee Community College. Hill's a 2-way player, looks at ball 2. Murfreesboro, Tennessee's his home. Went to Middle Tennessee Christian High School. Goes to Samford. I just put Samford and Stanford together and made a Stanford. Stamford, that's what I made. Didn't even know what I made. Right down Broadway for a called strike. His dad is Brad. I don't have anything else. I don't have his mom's name. Brad came on the roster list that Full Count Rhythm has that they allowed me to see. That's a sharply hit line drive, dropped by the shortstop Spears, and he tries to go to second. Good hustle by Chandler. So let's see how they rule that one. That's a line drive, and they put an error on the board right away. Austin Spears had a line drive hit right at him, and it handcuffed him for sure. Well, maybe they'll change that later, but right now it's showing as an E6. 2 runners on. Back to Rylan Moses, top of the order, who grounded a single right up the middle on the second pitch he saw in the top of the first. Got a runner in scoring position, and in second, he holds up on the breaking pitch down low. Otto Rubio, he's watching in, I wonder if he's in Managua or if he's over there in Ocotal or Mazante. Another one of the missionaries for Full Count Ministries in Central America. Breaking pitch gets in there for a called strike. Where's Alex Montiel? Otto Rubio. Brother-in-laws. 2 strikeouts, then a walk and an error. Has runners at first and second for the Rhythm. Kaysen Mitchell at the stretch. She'll look back to second and delivers that ground ball backhanded by first baseman Jace England. He gloves it, gets to his feet, and steps on the base for the 3rd out as he takes it himself. No runs, no hits in the inning, 1 error, 2 runners left on base. Headed to the bottom of the second, still no score here in Paducah, Kentucky.
If you didn't know, the Full Count Rhythm is part of the organization called Full Count Ministries. Full Count's mission is to give every baseball player the opportunity to hear the gospel, respond to the gospel, and grow in the relationship with Jesus. With Full Count, you could lead by discipling the next generation by using our resources, or you could go on international mission trips. For more of what we do, check out our website at fullcountministries.com or our pages on Instagram and Facebook.
Safeware is there when response is critical, assisting in the classroom as you shape the future of America, helping you build roadways and infrastructure for tomorrow. With protective solutions, innovative technology, and leading technical services, Safeware works tirelessly to provide our nation's workforce with confidence in their safety. Before, during, and after, Safeware is there.
Tim Reese back on the Full Count Sports Network. Appreciate all of you joining on YouTube and Facebook. Got almost 80 of you on YouTube. That's awesome. Superfan Kennedy Carmen. She's self-professed a superfan there, I see. That's okay. I'll go with that. Ava Dorn's checked in. She's a worker. Hard worker. Great employee. Gets her supervisor gifts and everything. Vanessa Dorn checked in earlier. I missed that one. All the Dorns watching. I bet you James isn't. Yeah, let's see if I missed somebody earlier on. I think I can go back. Maybe I'm caught up. Now I'm caught up. We're in the bottom of the second. Joey Greenstreet delivers, swung on and fouled back by Carson Reed, leading off the bottom of the second. They have a ball boy who's out after that one. There he goes. In a press box all by myself. Air conditioner's not working as well today. It's always worked well here in Paducah, but they're working kinks out as well. And aren't we all? We're all a year older than we were last year. Ground ball chopped to short. Chandler on 2 hops, gloves, and throws over to Kason Youngblood for out number 1. He's been busy. Joel Chandler the third. Nope, the second. I just talked about his child. He probably hadn't even thought about his child yet. We got some alumni, though, that are having babies. We're going to have an alumni spotlight, and I'll tell you about one of our full count rhythm players that's married and now running around the house with a baby. I'm just not sure which one I'm going to use. We've got, right now that I know, 3. Jace England, the first baseman, steps in. Greenstreet pitches from the stretch and delivers. Slider Roland couldn't handle, but it was a ball anyway. Jace England, Dyersburg State Community College, says he's from Riverside, Tennessee. Says he's an incoming freshman to Dyersburg State. The Dyersburg State Eagles playing over in, amazingly, Dyersburg, Tennessee. Looks at a called strike that he says, I don't know about that one. Coach Goen, head coach at Dyersburg State. I want to say Chris. He had his first year last year. 3 balls and a strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second. Rhythm had 2 runners on in the first with nobody out. Those 2 runners were in scoring position, could not push a run across. Paducah had 2 on in scoring position with 2 outs and couldn't push a run across in their half of the first. Rhythm had 2 more on with 2 outs. Couldn't get the RBI, and Joey Greenstreet with a full count Ministries full count, trying to get out number 2 here in the bottom. That's a full count. First pitch foul ball that will fall within the field of play, but Jay Fuller is not one of the Incredibles. He's not Dash, and he couldn't get over there quick enough. He probably runs pretty well, but nobody was going to get that one. Over by their, got a little left field lounge down that left field line. Looks like quite a few folks are there. Umbrella's still out here at Brooks Stadium. And another full count pitch coming to Jace with an S, England. And he's going to reach with the walk. First walk given up by Greenstreet, the Trevecca Trojan. Got a few of those. I'm just going to go on memory again. Brian Sweeney, Joey Greenstreet, Rylan Moses, Landon Rogers with Coach Nick Krupp and Jonas Smithson also from Trevecca, as is Josh Carmen, head coach of the Full Count Rhythm, is assistant coach for Trevecca. Green Street gets a called strike to Austin Wilson, the DH, with 1 on and 1 out. Rain coming down a little bit harder here at Brooks Stadium. Thankfully, I'm inside under cover. That's fisted. That'll go foul just over the outstretched glove of Kaysen Youngblood. Rhythm's got some size in Kaysen Youngblood, Hudson Separulo, and Edward McLeod. Separulo, I believe, can play third as well as first base, but I believe McLeod and Youngblood are first basemen only. Did not get that 0-2 in there. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes. Oh, we are going to. You know, it's tough to pull a yard card early. I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be pulling a crazy yard card here at Brooks Stadium. Ball just doesn't go. Ground ball slowly hit. Suggs charges and can't get the handle on it. Almost looked like he thought that was going to get out hard enough to Chandler, but took a little bit of a circuitous route to it, and then once it took a bad hop, he didn't have a chance. That's an E5, and now 2 are on. Similar to the top half of the inning. Full Count just had 2 outs when it happened, a walk and an error. Now number 9 hitter Maddox Cope steps to the plate. Right-handed hitter. Looks at a called strike at the letters. If you're not familiar with the Ohio Valley League, wood bats are used in the league. That's why you're not going to see as many home runs. Maddox Cope from Shawnee Community College. Finished his freshman year trying to lay down a bunt. If he had gone down the first base line, he had Youngblood dead to rights there. Devin McCarron, last year's Rhythm player, checking in. Roland has been to the plate. Struck out Devin. He is second in the order in the third. That's lifted out to right field. That's down. Charging is Kaysen Hill. He has the ball. It's probably wet over the cutoff man and gets by the catcher, Nathan Rowland, but Joey Greenstreet in the right spot, backing it up. And the bases are loaded, and back to the top of the lineup as Javon Andrews will come to the plate. Second hit of the game for the Chiefs. And they got the Atlanta chop going here. Or Florida State, or I'm sure there's dozens. Devin, he's going to be looking to have a little better at-bat his next time up. I'll tell you that. Greenstreet trying to pitch out of trouble here. Gets called strike. Andrews grounded out to the shortstop. Anything that's going to take some finesse now is going to be trouble. The ball's going to be wet. Kaysen Youngblood in on the grass at first base. Cam Suggs back in the dirt at third. Greenstreet, it's that outside corner, and he's ahead 0-2 to Andrews. Devin McCarron says he's going to come back. I just asked Josh Carmen about you in the drive-in on the bus, and he said there might be a chance you'd put on a Rhythm uniform. 0-2 pitch. Nice block there by the Mercer Bear behind the plate. Devin McCarron, also a Mercer Bear this past year. Roland from Ackworth, Georgia. Catcher, one of 3 catchers, I think that's here right now. Going to have 4, I believe. That's a pitch on the outside corner, and it rings up Javon Andrews for a Corson strikeout for out number 2. Second strikeout of the ball game by Greenstreet. That's a big one right there. Now the infield can relax. They don't have to turn to do that double play to get out of the inning. But tough hitter right here, Brett Haas. dumped a single into right field his first time up. Bats with the bases loaded. Roland blocks that breaking pitch, gets a little bit muddy, and he said, "Hey, I'd like a new one." I don't have the stats for the Chiefs from last year's squad, but Haas he was a tough customer to go up against. I do remember that. And it fisted out to center field. On comes Moses. He's not going to get there. One run will score. Here comes the second run. The throw is not in time. And the big stadium can full outfielders. And the Chiefs have taken a 2-0 lead. And Haas batting 1,000, driven in 2 runs, and another softly hit line drive or fly ball. These runs are all unearned due to the error that with that strikeout would have ended the inning, but now Trey Dooley, who was hit by a pitch, fouls that one off over past the Rhythm bullpen. Dooley was stranded at second in the first inning. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Swing and a miss. It's 400 to dead center field, 335, I believe, down both lines. They don't have signs out there in the alleys, but it's pretty deep. It's 375 at least in the alley. So this is a big stadium. Balls don't go out of here very often. And rarely are you hitting the base of a fence out here like Case Youngblood did in the first. So as an outfielder, you can play more shallow, but when you're not used to playing on a 400-foot field, you probably play a little deeper. That may be the case with Moses, who looks pretty deep out there in center field. I've seen center fielders here for Paducah over the last several years, and they do typically play pretty shallow. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, and grounded foul. That would go through the tarp pipe down the third base line. Jay Fuller's in left, Rylan Moses in center, Kason Hill in right, Cam Suggs at third, Joel Chandler at short, Charlie Bozeman at second, Kason Youngblood, the first baseman, and Nathan Rowland behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 3-hole hitter, Trey Dooley, for the Paducah Chiefs, who have a 2-0 lead. Greenstreet delivers another jam shot that gets into the stands to the right. No big scramble for that baseball, though. There we go. Well, rolled right to a little guy. Couldn't see him on the other side of the umbrella that's still up. Although I think the rain may have stopped. Greenstreet trying to get out of the jam. That ball is struck well to left field, and that's not getting out of any jam. That will hit off in the warning track. It's going to score 2. Throw goes to third base, and 2-run double by Trey Dooley, who got all of that one. And the Chiefs lead 4-0. Inning started off with a ground out and a walk and an error. But runners at first and second, a little bloop single in the right field, loaded the bases. And top of the lineup came up. Javon Andrews struck out, but Brett Haas singled, drove in 2, and Trey Dooley doubled to drive in 2 more. That brings up Jack Robinson. Looks at ball 1.
that's that cat hitting off the floorboard. Yeah.
Foul ball off the screen. Jimmy Gamboa is, as I assume, Devin, that's who you're talking about, Jimmy Gamboa. He's supposed to be here, I believe, on Monday at a family event that he has to attend. Green Street getting in on the hands of Jack Robinson. Count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4 runs, 4 hits for Paducah. 3 of those hits in this inning. Just outside, as there is action in the bullpen. Barrett Brown with the catching equipment on down there. Have to wait for pitcher to turn around for his number. Get my old binos out. Number 15. Who knows who it is? I don't have numbers memorized yet, but Davidson Academy Bear. Jack Smith stretching in the bullpen. Another ground ball to short, charged by Chandler. He's gloved and throws a strike over to Youngblood. And there is the final out. Second time that Robinson has grounded out to short. 8 batters come to the plate. 4 cross it meaningfully. All 4 unearned runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner was left on base. After 2, 4-0. Paducah leads. We'll be right back on the Full Count Sports Network.
Feeling tight, stiff, and not quite yourself? Then it might be time to go see the professionals at Absolute Wellness. Located at 101 Tennessee Way, Suite 100 here in Hendersonville, Absolute Wellness can get you back on track with their numerous services like chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, spinal decompression. Call Absolute Wellness at 615-264-8515 today to get in on some great offers. That's Absolute Wellness. Your road to absolute wellness starts here.
Compliant with code. If you're a facility manager or building owner, you've heard the term plenty of times. At Corson Fire and Security, we work to keep buildings compliant with the most demanding code of all, our own. We've been protecting people and property since before most of today's codes were even written. And what we've learned along the way makes us the best choice to partner with for the future. Corson Fire and Security, celebrating 70 years. Learn more at corson.com.
Let's get back to Full Count Rhythm Baseball action on the Full Count Broadcast Network.
And we are back. They got the sack races going just off to your left of that view. If I go too wide, I won't be able to see whether it's white uniforms or gray uniforms on there. So just like I say, our broadcast, just like ESPN, only totally different. Sorry, can't do anything about it. We don't have that kind of jack over there at Full Count Rhythm or Full Count Ministries. Appreciate every dollar donated, though. Thanks to our... Oh, we've got a delay. They're going to go throw the... They're going to put the tarp on. We're going to be in a delay here at 7:25. As they're assuming looking at some radar. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. See what we're looking at. Ooh, and looking good. We've got some yellow coming through here. It looks like that may be a couple hours too. Well, if it gets rained out now, it's not a complete game. So we go into the top of the third inning, down 4-0, but not sure if they would just pick it up if we can't finish it tonight, or we would just scrap the whole thing. That information doesn't trickle down to me. Yeah, that yellow cell, there's a chance that's coming in about 9 o'clock. After that, it may be okay, but get us back. Get through the, let me get my notice up here so folks who may be just joining us have an idea as to what's happening. This is what's called producing on the fly. And we get, while we're putting out the tarp, looks like not everybody for Paducah Chiefs, the players aren't going out there. Well, they got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 guys. I think they need the rest of the team to show up. And I'm looking right now, and it looks like there's pretty decent holes in that tarp. They might. Actually, I heard before the game today, though, that they've gotten some money, a grant from somewhere, and in the next year or 2 years, they're hoping to turf the infield here at Brooks Stadium. So that would be awesome. Let's check to see if I've missed any of your comments on Facebook or YouTube. Becky Chandler says, "Go Rhythm. Looking forward to the season of summer baseball." And I'm going to get to know you folks a little bit better. Becky Chandler, there's a player on a team named Joel Chandler. If you're a grandparent, then I don't have your first names. All I have is what does he call you. So, Becky Chandler, I don't know who you're connected with. If you want to let me know on Facebook, you can, and anybody can. And I also have that email address, which I have not checked to see if anybody's sent an email there. Nope, Star Heat and Air, they still want me to pay my invoice. They sent an email, but not to tresports@gmail.com. Mark Wilkins, all the way down in Monticello, Georgia. Jackson Lake, Georgia now. Oh, you're at the lake house. Mark and Lori Wilkins, the parents of Spencer Wilkins, 2-year player for Full Count Rhythm. You know, now in year 6, Mark, I can't remember if Spencer was on year 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. But I sure remember there's some games I remember him throwing. And I'd take him 6 years in a row for sure. Spencer Wilkins, a right-hander at Trevecca. Mark, did Spencer finish, or has he got? I think he's got another year, honestly. Let's see who else we got. Nobody else on Facebook that I have missed, I don't think. Appreciate you all watching. Of course, we're in a weather delay. It began at 7:25, so 5 minutes into the weather delay. And let me check on YouTube if we have anybody who's chimed in. Trent Miller, big right-hander out of Greenbrier, Tennessee. He's chimed in. Big man from Volunteer State Community College, looking for a place to land. Son of Bill and Treva Miller, little brother to, going off memory here, Nicole and Presley. Kendall and Presley. One of them's getting married here soon too. Trent, good. I guess you're going to be at the ballpark tomorrow, I hope. See you at Drakes Creek Park. He's a right-hander is on the Rhythm squad. Apparently, he had to get his manicure and pedicure today and just could not get on the team bus to join us. Chandler Phelps, host home, has checked in. That's what I need to do. I need to thank our host home families. Let me see if I got that information. Well, I've cut that off of the roster that I had. So now I just have to go through my other bio. You have no idea how many pieces of paper that I have here to use to broadcast. Charlie Bozeman staying with the Smithsons. So you all keep count at home as to how many players that how many boys are going to stay in the Smithson household this summer. They have 3 of their own, Jonah, Micah, and Brody. And Amy would say she has 4 sons, Jonathan being the oldest of her 4 sons. But it's a boy household for sure. And I think she loves it. So Charlie Bozeman, second-year player for the Rhythm, is staying there. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. Barrett Brown, he's staying in his own house with his parents, Brian and Ashley. Hudson Separulo, he's staying with some, I think, some friends. I don't have a host home down here for him, so I think he may be staying with some friends. He's from Paris, Tennessee. Joel Chandler staying in with Fred Baldwin and Jackson Zeller, a catcher. Tate Dickinson, who is not here yet. LSU Eunice Junior College. I'm not sure if they're still playing or not. They were in the College World Series in Grand Junction. He's one of, I think, 2 LSU Eunice players that we have on the squad. Our very first LSU Eunice players. Henderson Flash used to get several of their players. Is there another LSU Eunice on this roster? There is Tate Dickinson and Ryder Blanchard. So Tate will stay at Dave and Trish Lamarb's house. That's a palace. I mean, it's, you can't hide money. And Dave and Trish, they just flaunt it. Honestly, they just have been host homes on and off for several years, and you just can't stop them. Damon and Tanya Walls, Jay Fuller staying at their place, first year host home. Todd and Linda Hunley, they got it going on over there in Gallatin. They are hosting Bryson Hamilton from VMI, who is Noah Stockey yet. He is not here yet. We have 3 VMI cadets. Gabe Jenkins also not here yet. And Bryson Hamilton, but the one who is here, Jim Douthit. Sidewinding left-handed pitcher. Saw him pitch in the scrimmage the other day, and I said, okay, that'd be a little scary to a left-handed hitter. Jay Fuller staying with Damon and Tanya, Bryson Hamilton, and Todd and Linda Hunley, and I'm assuming Kason Hill staying at home in Murfreesboro. The Hydes staying with Scott and Lori Gettelfinger, as you're getting umbrella action here in front of the press box. Thankfully, the rain is pretty mild right now, but as I said, the yellow spot on the weather app is heading this way. Hey, folks, trust me, I am not going to talk for 2 hours during a weather delay, okay? It's just not going to happen. I could, but I won't. So you're going to be okay. See how many of you already tuned out. Yeah, at least 25 on YouTube and a few on Facebook. You're coming in and out, I see. I can see that. Gabe Jenkins, another VMI cadet. He'll stay over there with the Hunleys. Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. I hope they like Christian chicken, Todd. I mean, who doesn't? Todd Hunley, 20-plus years at Chick-fil-A. His daughters both work. He's got 3 daughters. 2 work with him at the Rivergate store. One, she's got her eyes on corporate. She's down there in Atlanta, working at the corporate headquarters. Edward McLeod staying at the host home of Doug and Rebecca Dorn. They were or are listening in. He's from Samford. Not playing in this game right now, but he will be playing. Rylan Moses, he stays at home. His parents, Devery and Kimberly, Moses. They live up there in Portland, Tennessee, Sumner County. Ryder Blanchard, LSU Eunice, staying at Dave and Trish Lamar's house. Landon Rogers not on this trip. He might have had the same Manny Petty appointment that Trent Miller had. Didn't make it on the bus. Nathan Rowland, he's staying with Chandler Phelps. That's why Chandler chimed in and said, "Go Nate." All right, so Doug Rogers has said, "We'll see you y'all tomorrow's home game." All right, Doug Rogers, tell me who you're connected with. Oh, now I got Becky Chandler Beck. I thought he told me that was a grandfather's name. I'm going to have to make that change. He did not specify, and I didn't write it down. I need to make a note. He did spell it like you spelled it, B-E-C, B-E-C. I spelled it B-E-C-K, B-E-C-K, just to help the pronunciation a little bit better. There we go, Landon Rogers. See, if you're not here, I can't use you in my head. All right. Yeah, I looked around the bus and I said, "Where's Landon?" Josh Carmen said he's got the night off. He didn't tell me about the hair and nail appointment. All right, back to our host home. Landon Rogers, none. Doug and Kelly are his parents. Hey, there's Doug on Facebook. It's amazing how that works. I asked him if he wanted to be known that he was from Memphis or where was the other little town? Arlington. Arlington. And he said, "No, put Memphis. Put Memphis down there." All right, Roland staying at Chandler Phelps. Cam Suggs staying with his family. Cam and Jessica Suggs up in Greenbrier, I would assume. Jason Youngblood. So he's staying at home in Murfreesboro. Todd and Brett Burks, his parents. He's got grandparents in McMinnville, Murfreesboro. 2 sets in McMinnville, down there in Warren County. The Warren County Pioneers. Jackson Zeller staying at Fred Baldwin's place. That's the position players. Let's see where these pitchers are all staying. Clodney, Will Clodney, common spelling. He lives in Thompson Station. It's a long drive when you get back to Hendersonville at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning to have to drive all the way back down south of Nashville to Thompson Station. These boys better be making sure they stay awake and get them a good nap in on the bus. Chase, don't call me Clater. He's from Nolensville, Tennessee. I assume he's staying at home. Jack Cowan, not with the rhythm yet. He's from Bowling Green, Kentucky. We'll stay with Eric and Casey Veercan. Their actual name, Veerkant. So they have a couple of players besides their son, Luke. Corbin Craver. He is from Mount Juliet near Old Hickory. He also went to Green Hill, where Joey Greenstreet went. So he has no host home. Got him Gus Daniels. I guess they're still looking for a host home for him from just south of my hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. He went to Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, but says his hometown is Fort Thomas, Kentucky, which is just across the bridge into Kentucky near Covington and Newport. But he is not with the team yet. He's an incoming freshman. We'll be heading with Barrett Brown to Bellarmine in Louisville. Mahoney Donick, he's playing in the Division III World Series with the Denison Big Red. I think they get underway today. He's from University School in Nashville. I would assume he's staying at his own house with his dad, Willie. Some of you might know who Willie Donick is. Jim Douthit staying in the host home of Ashley and Matt Blazer. Ashley checked in early on in the broadcast. Let me check real quick. Amanda Zeller, mom of Jackson's been listening in from Knoxville. I mean, this whole time, I hope you got up and got a drink and snacks. That's what I'm going to probably go do. Although I'll get a free hamburger and chips and a drink after the game. Lucky me. And somebody with a password on YouTube says, appreciate you doing this. Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening. And even if there weren't 60 of you listening, I'd still do it. Because these guys, they like that. Jackson Goddard, he doesn't have far to go. He's staying in the host home of his own home. Could be Rich Goddard in Portland or Missy Lozana in Hendersonville. He probably bounces back and forth. Might stay with Grandpa or Grandma. They both live in Gallatin, as does Nani. Are you Cam Suggs sitting right out here? Man, you look. I'm just talking to people that are out of the windows here. I am broadcasting, but you look just like Ben. So I figured I saw you earlier talking to Brian Brown. So Cam Suggs' dad, also the same name, Cam Suggs, is here watching, and he's taking some shelter underneath the press box here. So he's not Ben the Builder, but he builds houses, though, don't you? A what? ACS? Okay, ACS. I bet the A is the first initial, C is the middle initial, and the S is Suggs. I'm telling you, man, you can't get anything past this former federal investigator. Cam Suggs' dad, Cam Suggs, is here watching game one. Got family up here. Somebody's from Paducah. Is it your wife's family? Okay. Jackson Grant staying in the host home of Drew and Caroline Robertson. Drew, a 3-time player for Full Count Rhythm and one of the fan favorites over the years. Caroline was the mini-me of Brooke Carmen, I believe, last year. She was running the merch pavilion, not the merch tent. But so they are hosting this year, and they've got Jackson Grant, who's in the portal, leaving Erskine College down in South Carolina. A lot more Erskine players in the league this year, I've noticed. Several other teams have folks from Erskine, a Division II school in South Carolina. Joey Greenstreet, our starting pitcher, I assume his night is over. He's staying at home in Mount Juliet, not Mount Juliet. Cason Hill from Murfreesboro, assume he's staying at home. Logan Johnson, also a local from Franklin, Tennessee. He just finished his career up at Columbia State after starting at Tennessee Tech. Trent Miller checked in on, I'm not sure if it was Facebook or YouTube, probably YouTube. Now I got to look every once in a while over here to my computer. Kayla Chandler, Joel's mom, here watching from Brandon, Mississippi. I don't know if my daughter's watching from Columbus, Mississippi. They check in from time to time. And she is touting Fred Baldwin as the host family of the year. Well, not been to Fred's shack, but he comes highly recommended by Brandon Jaggers. So glad that's working out. J.C. Myers, he's staying in the White House area, in the house of Jay and Tina Myers. Second-year player with Full Count. Columbia State Charger. As soon as he gets some time on the mound, I'm going to give you some. We went deep into the stats. JC was telling me, hey, don't tell my overall ERA for the year. Just go and look at my starts. It was a lot better when I started. And he's right. Grayson Rhodes, not here yet from Rodelia, Kentucky. He's heading to Bellarmine. So we have at least three incoming freshmen to Bellarmine that are on the Rhythm roster. So he will eventually stay at Doug and Rebecca Dorn's house. Jack Smith, he's from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He doesn't have far to go, the son of Eddie and Angie Smith. Ryan Sweeney back for year number 3. If it's free, it's for me. Give me 3 of Ryan Sweeney. Ed and Julie Sweeney, his parents. Mimi and Franklin, College Grove is where Nana stays. He's staying at John and Amy Smithson's. I think I probably missed a few from John and Amy. Ryan Sweeney. Oh, I don't know if Nick Krupp is or not. I didn't keep up with that. Luke Vierkant's going to stay at home with Eric and Casey Vierkant. And that is the pitchers. I thought there were 3 players. Maybe Krupp's going to stay there. He's assistant general manager. He might be staying there as well. So 3 players or general managers plus 3 sons. Amy's, I think, used to that, though. It's a place that folks congregate. I've never been invited to the pool over there, though, but, you know, you gotta be somebody, and I'm not there. It's okay. Debris Moses checking in. I wonder if he's in Portland or he's out on the road. I wonder if Debris sings that from time to time. It's not a Diamond Rio song, but Willie Nelson kind of made it famous, On the Road Again. Debris Moses, retired Metro Nashville police officer. He's now doing fun stuff, gallivanting all over the country with a country music group. Diamond Rio. All right, let's see if we got any. Oh, little E got to see his recording. My son texted me and said that Eli went nuts seeing him on the broadcast. If you missed it, I'll play it again here soon. We'll get some commercials rolling. I need to make me a Zach Williams would have had that done by now. You get a weather delay, you just start rolling commercials. That's when the viewership really goes down. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just run an hour's worth of Country Financial, Zach Williams Agency commercials. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have a commercial yet from Zach Williams. He's efforting. John Smithson sent a text, and they've got the live stream up on the big screen in the hotel down in Managua, Nicaragua. Is the group of, I believe, 17. I assume Adam Spates is on that trip still. If you are, hey, Adam Spates. Addison's probably on it, his oldest son. I'm assuming JP Spates not down there. Who else could possibly be on that trip? Since All-State football player Todd Cox is not on it, Reed Glover is not on that trip. I don't know who else might be on that trip, but they're coming home tomorrow, so pray for safe travels for the first mission group of the summer. And now my daughter's sending recordings of my oldest grandson. We're going to have to do some videos. Those videos worked well, Cass, so you're going to have to get Reese on a video. Little Eli and his daddy stepped it up a notch. We're not just doing audio, we're doing video bumpers for Grandpa on the Full Count Sports Network. We are in a weather delay if you're just joining. If you are, where have you been? I mean, game started at 6:34. Should have been right here. It's not hard to find. Folks packing up. I don't see anything that says that we're canceled for tonight. For those of you just getting here, I'll give you a little recap of the 4 half innings that we've played. The rhythm started off with a Rylan Moses ground ball single right up the middle. And then right after that, Kaysen Youngblood with the first Doodat double of the year. And runners were at second and third after a strikeout and a ground ball to short. And Rylan Moses was cut down at the plate. Route number 2, a flyout ended the inning, so no runs with 2 hits. 2 left on in the first 4, full count. The Chiefs came in with a hit and a hit batter to put 2 on with 2 out. And Joey Greenstreet got a Corson strikeout to end the inning. Got Austin Spears, the shortstop, looking for zeros on the board in the first. Full count came back with a couple of strikeouts to lead off the second, but then a walk and an error put 2 runners on base. But Rylan Moses hit a sharp ground ball to first base. That was handled by Jace England, who stepped on the bag to end the second inning. Trouble came calling in the bottom of the second as the Chiefs sent 8 players to the plate. First one grounded out, but then a walk and an error put runners at first and second. A single dumped into right field, loaded the bases. Strikeout of the leadoff batter had Rhythm fans hoping that Greenstreet could pitch out of trouble, but a little softly hit line drive single into center field by Brett Haas plated 2 Chiefs, and then a double that was smashed into the left center field alley. Drove in 2 more. We've got an announcement right here. All right, they're saying 8:30. They'll make a determination on whether or not we will continue play or wrap it up for the night. So we've got another 37 minutes. So then a ground out ended the bottom of the second, and that's what brings us to a 4-0 lead for the Paducah Chiefs. I have not or updated my stats list. At one point in time, I had a list somewhere that indicated full counts record against each of the 5 teams that are currently in the Ohio Valley League. Actually, I have it for all games since full count has been in the league in 2021. And at one point in time, I believe full count was 20-2 against the Paducah Chiefs. Did not play them in the playoffs last year. Paducah played Fulton Railroaders, and full count played the Hoptown Hoppers. Full count defeated the Hoppers twice and then took it right to the Railroaders. 2 Mercy Rule wins to win their 3rd championship last year. Played in the Ohio Valley League in 21, 22, 23. Then moved for 1 year to the Prospect League. Did not fare as well in that league. And then came back to the Ohio Valley League last year. As I said, won the championship. In year number 1, full count got to the championship against DuBois County. Lost a heartbreaker in game 1. I believe that was an extra inning game and lost by 1 run. And then went to DuBois County and just could not get anything going. I want to say lost 6-0, or did play the full game, but DuBois County won their last OVL championship in 2021. In 2022, full count won on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th by Harrison Travis, who finished his playing career at Eastern Michigan. And I found out on the bus ride up that he is now an assistant coach or a grad assistant coach at Eastern Michigan up in, I want to say, is that Ypsilanti maybe, Michigan. Well, I need Jay Myers on it right now. But won that championship, the first of now 3. The next year, full count had to go to Henderson and defeated the Flash to win their second in a row. Went to the Prospect League, did not have a above 500 record in that league. Came back to the Ohio Valley League last year and went 29-12 overall, going 4-0 in the playoffs to win their third championship in 4 years. So we are in a weather delay, have been since 7:25. Trailing 4-0 is the Rhythm. My look at the radar for the last, or the today, for the next 3 or 4 days is we got rain issues wherever we're going. There's going to be some rain problems back at Drakes Creek Park tomorrow, where we will be for a 7 o'clock game. If you're in the area, come on out. If not, we'll be carrying it right now, or again right here on the Full Count Sports Network on YouTube and Facebook. I'm just proud that we're able to stay on Facebook. I have no idea what happened the other day as to why we got kicked off, but it might have been Zach Williams. He was out there, and I think he said, "Hey, what does this button do?" Hey, Zach, you left your little Tervis cup up in the press box. I think that's yours. Come to the ball game tomorrow, and I'll give it back to you for $2. Let's see who else has checked in. So Devery Moses says that they are on the road somewhere in this great land. So the Rogers will be in town from Memphis tomorrow. I would assume we're going to see Landon Rogers at shortstop. He was, after an injury or 2 injuries at Trevecca, he was thrust into the starting shortstop role. As that might be a clue, because the 2 cameras have been taken down. Here is Paducah for the first time was carrying video on their live stream. Normally they just had a radio broadcast. All right, I think I've got everybody who has chimed in a shout out. Again, there's still time if you want to be a sponsor for Full Count Rhythm. You can get a hold of Brooke Carmen. Let's see if I got Brooke Carmen's email address. Or you could send me an email at tresports@gmail.com. And I'll get you in touch with Brooke Carmen. Probably be the easiest way. But we'll make up a specialty sponsor if the money's right. Just like we did with old Zach Williams and Country Financial. Can't get insurance runs, though, when you're trailing 4-0. Ypsilanti, Jay Myers says. He confirms. And I don't need a second confirmation of that. He is reliable. He's in the financial services business. Of course he is. A light switch does work inside the press box. These old eyes, I need the lights on. Let me run through our sponsors again, or some of those I have not. We have the dental tag team of Jason and Mary Beth Tabor, husband and wife. They're dentists, and they have 2 different businesses. One, Tabor Dental. One is Kid City Smiles. That's Mary Beth. They've been sponsors for several years. Trevor Marson of Marson Holling. Hey, I got to go. It's half off of hamburgers here. They are giving it away practically. $1 popcorn. I got to go. Myers Front Porch, I went in there and had a Rhythm special sandwich, turkey and cheese with some, what's that green stuff? Avocado. There you go. It's these hard words I have to remember. Mary Schaefer Gore. She in there helps the owner, Corey Langford. They're very sweet and kind. Go in there and tell them Tim Reese of the Full Count Rhythm sent you, and they'll probably give you like some free ice in your sweet tea or something. They might give you 10% off. Actually, I think that might be in the brochure that you'll get when you come to the ball yard tomorrow. Music City Fire and Sprinkler, they've been a several-year sponsor. Ken Brinkley. Mike Harrell, of course, the father of Logan Harrell, couple-year player with Full Count Rhythm. Pitcher at Trevecca. He's with Safeware. Volunteer Bank, Ed Spurlock, Jeremiah Bennett, sponsoring Full Count Rhythm Baseball. My buddy Jimmy Murphy, I got to go by and get the money, though. He hasn't paid yet. But he's at Hendersonville Jewelers. He's been there like forever. He and Brian Stubblefield, friends of mine. And, you know, as I say, it's always good to have a friend in the jewelry business. I heard that somewhere, but not at Hendersonville Jewelers. H&T Carpet, Chad Cook. Edge Appraisal Service, big-time Full Count Ministries supporter, Travis Smith. He's been a rhythm sponsor probably since year number 1. Of course, our title sponsor is Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. Todd Hunley handles the starting lineups, being the title sponsor, and he's going to be sponsoring a jersey giveaway later on. That's always fun. They'll normally do 3 jerseys as a giveaway, specialty jerseys. Dylan Doris over at AAA Auto Glass and AAA Shower Glass. They got all kind of businesses going on. I want to thank Chris Williard, Matt Elliott, and the folks at Hendersonville Firefighters Association. I just was given an audio commercial that hopefully I can get up and running by tomorrow. And appreciate them being our Call to the Bullpen sponsor. They're also sponsor Firefighter Friday. That'll be fun to say. Century Steel, my buddy Keith Hopper and the Hopper clan. I put them down as the stolen base sponsor because nothing says a stolen base like Century Steel. DUDAC Communications, Craig Sinnard with the double and the double play sponsor. So it doesn't matter if we're on offense or defense. Craig Sinnard and DUDAC Communications has us covered. If you need it, they can do that. Of course, Corson Fire and Security, Grant Edwards, one of the original Full Count Ministries members. Let's see who I've left out. Absolute Wellness, they're going to have a big outfield sign out there. Corey Crowley and Anthony Ramos, and I believe they have a workout facility at their spot. I have not seen it yet, but the players were shown around the other day, and that's their new place to go work out. So they can hit at Framework Athletics and go work out at Absolute Wellness. Appreciate them allowing the players to go over there and work out. I'd go over there and work out myself, but, you know, I just don't do that anymore. Who else? First Bank. I'm not sure if they're still a sponsor. John Smithson is migrating to ministry, I think. So he is the director of ministry for Full Count Ministries now. So handling maybe 2 jobs, still a mortgage banker, I would assume. And, of course, our meal sponsors, Chick-fil-A of Rivergate, Meat Sweats, Martin, last name unknown, so we call him Martin Lanou. Wendy's, Jimmy Head, they've been sponsoring Rhythm Baseball for a while. Al Wood-Fired Pizza. The owner's name, it's Al. I don't know his last name, so he's Al Lanou as well. They don't have that on my sheet. And there's going to be food trucks. I assume it's going to be on Food Truck Firefighter Fridays. But maybe food trucks. I saw some food trucks actually at Drakes Creek Park when I had to slide by there and pick up a few things for our trip up. Not sure who was there. May have been Frosted Luau, but Meat Sweats will be out there sometimes. Fried green tomatoes. Kona Ice of North Nashville, the local lemon. Cancun Lagoon, maybe. Al's Wood-Fired Pizza. Cuban cracker showing on there. And I don't want to forget, I don't have it on my sheet. I'm going to have to revise. Nope, there it is. Brewster's Ice Cream. Nicole Federchek. That's what I'm going with. She sent me couple emails to allow me to be able to look at the 2 commercials that we ran. We didn't even get through all the commercials. We don't have that many, but didn't get through them all. We are waiting for 8:30. So I may take a break. I'm going to have to adjust my weather announcement. Should I just do that on the fly? That's me thinking. This is what you get when you get on the road. Stuff on the fly. That might be big enough. I think you can see that now. All right, I'm going to take a break. Give me something to drink. Starting to get hoarse. Check back at a little before 8:30, and I'll be back to try to give you an update. But I'm just going to tell you, folks, it doesn't look good from my perspective. So, oh, we're gone. We're breaking it down. Oh, Josh Carmen giving me the heads up right now. So we are done. They're not going to wait till 8:30. Josh, send me a text, says packing it up. We're leaving. Keep good records of the game. So it's a suspended game, he says. And I will do it. So, well, that'll do it from Paducah, Kentucky. Now Tim Reese will scurry and try to get it all torn down and take it to the bus. Thank you for joining me on this rainy night in Paducah. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, probably about 6:45, 6:50-ish or so, for head coach and general manager Josh Carmen and all those that sponsor Full Count Rhythm Baseball. This is Tim Reese saying God bless you, and we'll get you a Full Count Ministries verse of the game tomorrow right here on the Full Count Sports Network.
This has been another Full Count Rhythm Baseball game presented by Full Count Ministries and Chick-fil-A of Rivergate. We'll see you next time right here on the Full Count Broadcast